Valarie Harper, good morning.
Good morning, Ken Behrens.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
I had to check something out before we even got on the air, and I found out that people back home were not kidding me when you visited Peatone, Illinois a few years back.
That's absolutely so. With Richard Shaw and his mom and dad, who are now both deceased. They were in their 80s at the time, and we were visiting I think that was a sister of one of them.
I see. So
in the Peatone senior citizens home.
Yeah, it wasn't your relative, but rather this gentleman's relative that was there. Nice that you visited. It had the whole town buzzing for us.
That was my husband at the time, Richard Shaw.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I was married. That was what I was saying. They were my in-laws' sister. It was like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a single person?
Family have a lot. There's a lot of Shaws, and Waddell is the other name in the area, because both Dick's mom and dad, who was my mother and father-in-law, they're both deceased, but they all lived in Crete, in Lake Forest.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's that Hammond.
Yeah.
Isn't it Hammond? That's right across the border.
Right, in Indiana.
Yeah, exactly. That's where Margaret's sister lives. So I have a lot of people that I knew that I'm sort of out of touch with now. But Richard and I, though we're not married, we're still friendly and, see each other, and we even work together. He's an actor. And so we have a good relationship. The marriage has turned into a friendship. So I kind of know what's going on with the relatives. Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to a friend now. You have that kind of a rapport. The character that you played on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, which you were on then at that time, was...
Rhoda was real approachable and recognizable, Ken. I think most everybody, if they don't have a Rhoda in their family, they know her from a store that she worked, or at the library, or at the coffee shop. You know what I mean? A waitress. She's a real recognizable American person, and I think that the audience really, do feel of me as a friend. I also feel that way, so I think that communicates. I'm not at all afraid of folks. I don't play the aloof. It's not comfortable for me to try to act aloof, because I'm not.
Now, while MTM's show took place in Minnesota, you were from New York, according to the character. Where did you grow up?
I grew up all over the states. As a matter of fact, I was born in Suffern, New York, and I lived in Toledo, Ohio. I lived in Monroe, Michigan, so much of my early life was in the Midwest. Then we settled in Ashland, Oregon, and California when I was a kid, those growing up years. And then around the age of 14, we landed in Jersey City, New Jersey. My dad was a salesman, and he kept getting promoted to different districts in his it was a lighting firm. And so in his business, he kept kind of moving us about. And we stayed on the Eastern Seaboard last year as I was studying ballet. I wanted to be a ballet dancer.
I'm trying to pay attention to what you're saying, but I'm also trying to listen for an accent, because I think maybe you picked up a little bit more of an accent when you did the Rhoda character.
Well, I probably because I lived in the East Coast since I was about 14.
But you don't seem to have the same accent that you did when you did the character. Unless I'm wrong?
Way off, Ken. Rhoda talked like this, really with the New York sound.
Yeah.
I say coffee. She said coffee.
That's right.
It's quite different, really.
Yeah.
You may hear a tinge, or you may hear a rhythm that seems East Coast compared to the Midwestern sound.
Yeah.
Also, the tone of my voice is kind of, I don't know, maybe Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah, you are terrific. In fact, all the characters that were on the old Mary Tyler Moore Show were terrific. The writing was wonderful. I talked to Ted Knight.
Oh, gosh, he's wonderful.
And it's like Ed Asner. I mean, the whole character, the whole cast was made up of the characters that you wouldn't mind having home. You'd like to invite them into your home, and that's why most of the shows were, phenomenal. But even if they didn't reach that level, you didn't feel like you wasted time, because you felt like you spent time with friends.
That's exactly so. I really must credit the writing staff. We were all good actors. Some of us, really wonderful. I mean, Cloris Leachman and, all did their roles very well. But we had the material, Ken. It was there for us. If it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage. Unless you're doing improvisation, for which Illinois is massively famous.
Second City.
Hey, speaking of, I don't know, your Chicago people that may be listening,
we're down in the middle part of the state. I have to clue you in on that. We're more or less Peoria, Champaign, Urbana.
In your state.
Sure.
You all probably know about Paul Sills, who created Second City and then created Story Theater.
Absolutely.
I'm working all the time here with Paul. He's here in L.A., and he's had a theater for 2 years. I'm one of the founders of it, along with my former husband, Richard Shaw. And Paul Sand and Mina Kolb, a lot of people that are out of the heartland of Illinois, and then worked in Chicago at Second City in '60s.
Mm-hmm. So much of today's comedy is modeled after Second City, isn't it?
That's right.
It really had a big influence.
And I do it every Friday and Saturday here. We do raw improvisation. By raw, I don't mean that it's risque. I mean that we don't do anything that has been said or rehearsed. We take suggestions from the audience. And, of course, Illinois produced a very great genius who, in retrospect, people will really understand. She's still alive. She's in her late 70s, Viola Spolin, who created Improvisation for the Theater. It's a fabulous book filled with theater games that assist the actor to get free, but anyone can use theater games in schools and prisons and all kinds of stuff. It's a method to get people connected in a game form that is theatrical in its result.
That's how a lot of comedians develop a style, don't they, by trying to do improv?
I think so, but there's a difference between ad-libbing and improv. I think Viola Spolin, this native Illinoisan, she's written the Bible for it, and many people have used her work, and she'll go down in history, as has Strasberg, I really feel.
How do you spell her last name?
Spolin, S-P-O-L-I-N.
I'm going to have to learn more about her.
Viola. The name of the book is Improvisation for the Theater. She also has a filing system where a teacher could just pull out a card and it describes the entire game. And when I say game, it's really that. It's getting the players, it could be big groups or just two people, and you each have an objective other than making a scene. When you're in stage, Ken, and you're trying to think up stuff, that's writing on your feet. If you trust the rules of the game, such as there's a game called Contact, you cannot speak without making physical contact with the other player. Well, sometimes it just doesn't come up, so you have this very interesting scene of two people on stage looking at each other, and so you're watching a game being played where we're trying to, in effect, follow the rule, make the basket. The ball's got to go in the basket, so it's much more like that than standing and making up jokes. And I think what Viola's work is designed to do is throw the player off balance slightly, and then the intuitive comes through, and wonderful gems. I think that's how Second City was so wonderful, because they were based on Viola's game. So is Story Theater.
Valarie Harper is our guest. I want to talk about what you're working on now, because this is very exciting. It's a new series, and we're very lucky to have you on, because I know how busy it is when you're trying to shoot these different schedules.
Well, it's my pleasure, Ken, really.
It's 11:18 in the morning. We'll be right back. 829-2345 is our number, or 1-800-322-9377.
Let's all be there for love and laughter today on TV 25. Dynasty heats up at 3 when Ally McGraw throws a pass at Blake and a horse throws Crystal into Rock Hudson's arms. Love Connection keeps the romance coming at 4. And at 4:30, another episode of WKRP starring Cincinnati's slickest radio salesman, Herb Tarlick. That's Dynasty at 3, Love Connection at 4, and WKRP in Cincinnati at 4:30. Let's all be there on TV 25 today.
Picture, if you will, a vending machine without a door in the middle of a shopping mall. Do Central Illinoisans enter the dishonesty zone? Last night, News 25 was taken to the cleaners, but our hidden cameras are still rolling with the Peoria honesty test. Tonight at 6 and 10, we'll show you how people reacted to a self-serve vending machine with a note saying, door being repaired. Use machine as usual. How many paid? Find out tonight at 6 and 10 on News 25. The team Central Illinois depends on.
Hello, Acme Advertising.
Hey, everybody, I'm going to go pick up lunch. I'll be right back, okay? I'm not going out in that, no way.
But, Bill, it's your turn to go.
Yeah, Bill. Hey, wait a minute. I've got a great idea. I'll call Pizza World, and I'll have them deliver lunch.
Pizza World delivers at lunchtime?
That's right. Hey, everybody, we're having Pizza World pizza for lunch. What kind do you want, huh?
I only eat sausage.
Oh, what a difference. Oh, what a difference.
When going out to lunch is out of the question, call Pizza World, and we'll deliver a fresh, hot, delicious pizza right to your place of work. Lunch specials are available from 11 till 2. So why fight the weather when it's time for lunch? Call Pizza World, and we'll deliver to you free at work or home.
Pizza World makes a world of difference. What a difference Pizza World makes.
I do want to get around to talking about your new series that you're filming, but let's get to the phone calls if you don't mind, Valarie.
Sure, whatever you like.
Okay. Do you have a question?
Yeah. Hi, Valarie.
Hi.
I was wanting to know, you were talking about Second City. I was wanting to know, what do you think of the people that came out from it earlier, like John Belushi, the late John Belushi, and Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray.
Oh, you mean the most recent guys? Yeah, I think that they're, all have benefited from what Paul set up in 1960. If you really look over the roster, it's amazing. Shelley Berman, Mike Nichols, Elaine May, Alan Arkin, Barbara Harris, and David Steinberg, Robert Klein, people that have gone different ways in different careers. Ed Asner was with Playwrights Theater, which was before Second City. But Paul Sills has touched so many actors. And I think Belushi and I think Bill Murray, they both were, they are. Well, the one is gone, unfortunately. But the talent was there. And I think the thing that Paul did was he allowed you to find your own best expression of yourself. And then that results in talent being exposed. I think everybody's talented. I really do.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, they had Winterfest here at the State College here. And they... Jim Belushi was the guest speaker.
I was there, too. You were there?
Yeah.
Oh, really? How marvelous.
It's sort of a demonstration on improv.
It was really great. And I got to meet the guy and talk to him, and he told me that Second City was just, he goes, you just won't believe the people that go in there and just will knock you dead.
It's true. I think it's still going on. I think it's now an established kind of part of American life.
Yeah, and there's even the Canadian counterpart now, too, isn't there, up in Toronto?
What was that, Ken?
There's the Canadian counterpart to Second City.
And you know that we first went to Second City. It was Richard and myself, David Steinberg, Linda Lavin, and a guy named Omar Shapley, who is now a teacher at NYU. The five of us did a show in Toronto way back at the Royal Alexandra Theater, and at that time created some interest around Second City. This was in 68.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you.
You're on the air with...
Good to talk to you. I'm glad you got to see that.
You're on the air with Valarie Harper.
Hi, Valarie.
Hello.
Best of luck with your new series.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we air on March 1st as a preview, and then our regular night will be Monday night, and that will be March 3rd. So I'm kind of on pins and needles. Thanks for the good wishes.
I wanted to ask you, I read or heard somewhere where Josh Taylor, who plays Chris Kosachek on Days of Our Lives, will be your husband in the show.
That's right.
And he will appear just kind of infrequently. Do you have any idea about how many episodes a month he'll be on?
It's very interesting. The early shows, when people first did interviews with me, that was the plan. But as we've gone along, Josh, they've been wonderful to us at Days of Our Lives. That staff has made him free. So he is more and more in the show. He now has shows that he's very much in. So I would say out of the 10 that we've done, Josh, I know, is in at least 6, maybe 8. See.
Well, I really enjoy him on Days of Our Lives. I hope he doesn't leave, but in another way, I have to say I hope your show's successful, so he will.
Oh, he's not going to leave.
So therefore, we might have to give him up on
Days of Our Lives.
But anyway, we wish you best of luck.
Yeah, thank you very much. And he's very funny. He's got a comedic sense. That's good.
Valarie, tell me more about the show. What's the setup, the premise?
It's a situation comedy, Ken, and it's a half hour about a mother. We want to represent American mothers and women who are running, in the family situation responsibly and as it really is. We are not doing a widow or a divorcee just because there have been a lot of them on television. And I think the unique thing, what can you do with a family? It's a family of 5. The father is a pilot. So what they have is what is now called a commuter relationship, where 8 days to 2 weeks he's gone. He's over Tokyo or Rio de Janeiro, and I need to deal with my 3 teenage boys who are uncontainable in some way. They're good kids, but it's just that all that male energy and this woman dealing with that. I have a 16-year-old played by Jason Bateman and 2 fraternal twins, which means the 2 little guys are 12, 13 years old. Mm-hmm. They're adorable, and they're 2 different little actors who look alike but aren't identical. So that's my home life, and then I work at an auction house with a rather well-meaning and hard-working but overbearing kind of, not a partner, but a co-worker.
Yeah, I hope it works. Mary Tyler Moore was such a wonderful show, and almost everybody got their own series after that, as I recall.
That's right.
Now Mary has another one on. I don't know how it's doing, but I'm warming up to it.
Oh, yeah, it's a good show, and I talked to her last night, as a matter of fact. And Mary said that they're moving, she's going to be moving into the 9 o'clock hour, which will be very much better for them.
Mm-hmm. I remember the business about the newspaper up there. They couldn't call it the Chicago whatever, and they...
Oh, well, that's what they... But that was an error, and they fixed it, I guess.
Well, it turns out the guy that was raising the complaints doesn't have the right to call his paper the same thing either.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny.
So I don't know if she'd heard it or not, but somebody else said, no, there's another one out that had it first. So.
Oh, that's funny. I'll have to tell her. Oh, that's incredible. Anyway, she's doing well, and they're doing 4 more, and then CBS is going to stand behind the show, and even though the ratings have not been fabulous, she's doing better than anybody's ever done in that time period.
It takes so much to get a show started. I remember the old Dick Van Dyke Show almost didn't make it until they scheduled it after Beverly Hillbillies, I believe.
Absolutely so. People have to see it and be able to see it. Like the people that would watch that show, it's real adult comedy. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be at 8 o'clock. It really should be at the 9 o'clock hour when the women that are Mary's fans will have the kids at least sort of had their dinner, they're home from work, their life is enough where they could turn it on and see it. 8 o'clock is really the kids. Now, my show, I hope, will be in the 8 o'clock hour because it's filled with kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
are you going to be up against things like Monday Night Football then?
I don't think so. I think it's over by then.
Okay.
It's over by 8:30.
Get it started, get people looking at it, and then...
That's true. It's always, and listen, it's all a crapshoot, as they say.
Yeah.
It's a throw of the dice, and if it doesn't work, I'll go on to something else right away.
Boy, I hope it works. Do you have a question?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, go ahead.
I don't really have a question. I just wanted to tell Valarie that I happened to watch Love Boat Saturday night. I'm usually not home to watch that, but I just happened to see it, and I thought she did an excellent job on the show. I just happened to see bits and pieces of it, and most all of that part. Once I got interested in the story and her story, that's what I kind of got interested in. I just enjoyed it thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. You know what? I liked it too, and I don't always like myself. And I'm real proud of that. And the guy that played the young man that I ran away with, and the fella that played the husband, Jimmy Sloyan, a wonderful actor. All the 3 of us have been talking the last 3 days. One of them's in New York, and Jimmy was out doing a movie in I think in your area, not in Illinois. I'm not sure where. And we all were so pleased with the way it turned out because we didn't know if it was going to be soapy. I was married in an unhappy marriage, and I meet a guy on the cruise, a young man, and then I decide to...
Well, I was rooting for you. I was saying, go for it now.
All the women have said, they said, now, leave that stick of a husband. And the 3 of us worked very hard on it, so it would, in our dressing rooms, we were trying to make it real and change the lines and stuff. We had a very good script, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for calling. Valarie, I don't know what your schedule's like, but we've reached the half hour. It's just flown by.
Because I talk too much.
No, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of luck with this. I understand you're going to do it on film rather than videotape.
That's right, Ken, because I like the look of that. That's what the Mary shows were and Rhoda, and I like the look of Cheers. I think tape is not at the point yet where it really captures that rich look of depth, and we have a new process. It's called film to tape, that you film it, and then there's a laser edit that puts it onto tape, which doesn't lose a lot of generations of color, but it's a good process, and it's money-saving and time-saving.
You know what they're doing? They're showing the old Newhart show, and I happened to catch it on Channel 9. They're speeding it up somehow. I don't know if they're trying to get more commercials in or whatever they're doing, but if you listen to the theme song at the end, it goes much faster.
You're kidding?
No.
How did they do that?
I don't know, but the music is faster, the movement's faster, and even the pacing seems to be a little different to me. So they're doing some crazy things with this.
With technology, yeah.
You going to do yours in front of a live audience?
Yes, absolutely. We've done 10 of them, and we did them Friday nights. In fact, I did it on my old stage where I did Rhoda, on stage 14 over at CBS in the Valley, and Mary was next door at stage 2 doing her new show. It was deja vu. And then then the last 3 shows, we had to leave that facility because CBS had so many shows waiting to come in. So we did our first 7 there, and then we just did 3 at MGM. And here's Cloris Leachman on the neighboring stage doing a movie for called Bobo, the Dog-Faced Boy or something. Mel Brooks, another insanity from one of that very funny and wonderful Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
So it's great. The great thing about this business, we keep meeting each other, and nothing's really goodbye.
Well, you're a real talent. I wish you a whole lot of luck with this. We'll watch for it on Monday night starting March 3rd?
Actually, March 1st.
March 1st.
Like a preview. It's a Saturday, and then Monday will be my regular time.
Okay.
Okay?
I hope we can talk again sometime.
I do too, Ken. You've been absolutely charming and lovely. And my love and good wishes to all the folks in Illinois, and may we all have a wonderful year.
Hey, you betcha. You're very kind.
Okay.
Thanks.